Hey everyone, Steve Dane here, and today I have a carol to show you. This is found on a song called The Alchemist that I played on from Jordan Rudess' album Permission to Fly. I'll play it first in context with the whole band, and then we'll isolate it and slow it down. It's definitely a tough one, so let's check it out. Yeah, it's a hard one. And the funny backstory behind the song is that during the demo process and songwriting, when I first heard this line, it was just a keyboard line. And I thought it might be cool if we did a guitar keyboard unison. So I arranged this for guitar, and one of the challenges that come with that is that certain intervals that work really well on a piano don't always translate to the guitar. And one of those that's notoriously hated are fourths. And so there's quite a lot of them, as you might find in the song, and navigating those fingerings to work well on the guitar to play at that speed was one of the main challenges here. I think in general, with arpeggios like this, alternate picking works really well and you get a really good tone if you can pull it off at this speed. There's certain lines in here that you'll see that I couldn't quite do with the alternate picking, but by using the hybrid picking, I found a happy middle ground that I think worked well. So the song kind of starts out with this almost major 7 arpeggio shape and some chromatics around it, and some sort of minor shapes here. But one of the first challenges that really came across was this arpeggio here that I played with the tab that was shown. This interval here at that speed is quite difficult to play, so it would require a lot of acrobatics to get there. So by introducing string skipping, you can sometimes overcome some of these challenges. In the same way that simple minor arpeggio you can really gain a lot of speed and still maintain that really strict articulation that sounds good with alternate picking. So you'll find this a lot within the song, and the alternate picking technique that I use that maybe you notice while I'm playing is that when I play slow and when I play fast, there are two different techniques there. So when I play slow, a lot of the motion is from my joint here in the thumb. And when I play faster, a lot of it's coming from the wrist. And there's a lot of different schools of thought around this. Some people say the technique and the mechanics should stay the same, slow to fast. I almost think of it like, well, if you're walking and you're running, they don't quite look the same. And when you need more speed, you need more power, the physiology behind it's going to be a little bit different. So that's just my belief, it's what works for me. But whatever alternate technique that you use, that's totally fine. But this is just what works for me and kind of how I approached the song. The other technique that you may have seen here was hybrid picking. And there's this these arpeggios that move up in whole steps and half steps here that goes like... And with this technique, I approach this almost like as if you were finger picking on, say, an acoustic guitar or a classical guitar, for example. The idea behind the hybrid picking is that you're going to have the pick between your thumb and your index finger, and your middle and ring finger are going to be helping you out, essentially. And you don't need nails or anything like that if you play classical guitar, kind of like I do. But even if you don't, on electric guitar, there's so much sustain, you don't really need it, which is the good thing. But what I will say about it is that the follow-through and the technique behind that, you really want to make sure that with the middle and ring finger, you're kind of like pulling up almost into the palm of your hand. And this is a technique that you'll see finger picking on, say, classical guitar. You don't just lift straight up, which you can do, and I suppose you might be able to get away with that on the electric guitar, but a good rule of thumb is that I try and keep those techniques somewhat consistent across the board, because there's a little bit less room for error there. So when I'm doing that hybrid picking style, I really make sure that the middle and ring finger are going into my hand, almost as if you were grabbing something. And you can practice this slow, up to speed. You could play those with sweep picking, or if you can really get that with alternate picking, that would be great too. I just couldn't do that, so I use hybrid picking there. The sweep picking though, if you were to do that, I mean, the sound totally changes. You lose a lot of the articulation, and it may sound cool in certain contexts, but when you have the band surrounding it, like in this song, for me, this just worked the best. So these are just some techniques to work on and to consider. See if it coincides with how you play and your picking style. And I'd love to see what you guys come up with too with this song. And so that's pretty much it. It's a really tough one. It took me quite a while even just to arrange it and to work on it. So take it slow, take it in bite-sized pieces, and I think you'll have this down in no time. So good luck, happy practicing, and I'll see you on the next video.